Good morning.
Good morning.
Here we are again, another day of Why Don't I Know That?
Well, it's been a week of Why Don't I Know That, actually.
I know, there's lots of things going on. We're going to try and stick to subject matter,
We
though.
are. And it's one of those subjects that we've been meaning to talk to our audience for such a long time. But this week's just been one of those weeks where we've had lots of the same questions, but we must do a podcast on this. So we are going to be talking about supplements today and why we take them, when we should take them, who should take them. And we're going to answer a lot of the questions that we get coming through, like on our chat and email questions from customers throughout the week. Yeah. So I think first and foremost, let's describe a supplement. What is a supplement?
All right. Well, I think people need to have an understanding. Firstly, a bit of a disclaimer. When we talk about supplements to your medication, I think we need to say that this isn't, supplements are not there to replace a healthy, balanced diet.
No.
So, most of the vitamins and minerals and nutrients that you get should come from the food you eat. However, we do live in a world where farming practices, food doesn't necessarily contain all those vitamins and minerals that the earth used to contain because we're turning over crops really
Mac
quickly.
Certainly does not do
no,
that.
Big Mac definitely not. Gives you other things, but not nutrients. First and foremost, it always needs to come from food. Supplements have a really important place in our world, and supplements can be in the form of, liquids, in the form of powders, in the form of capsules, in the form of tablets. Now, what they're meant to do is to give your body a bit of a kick up the bum, a bit of a boost, in times of need. So
it's a starter, isn't it? It's like a jolt. It's not a replacement. It's
to remind your body about this is what you're meant to be doing. Say, for example, let's take magnesium, for example, okay? So magnesium's a really popular supplement, a mineral, right? And it's there for cramps. It's there for helping with sleep, relaxation, musculoskeletal system. So many important actions happen because we take magnesium. But, when you're deficient, you give your body a boost. It gives your body a reminder, go, here muscles, here nervous system. This is what you need to function correctly. And the difference then with medication is, and what people need to understand, I take, Gaviscon or whatever it is for heartburn or Nexium, which is, don't even get me started on that. That's a whole nother podcast. But what it does is actually suppress your body's ability to create, stomach acid and we need stomach acid. This is where people also get confused about that acid-alkaline balance of our gut, that it is important to have that in the correct balance. But when you take medications that suppress the function of an organ or what's meant to be happening in your body, that's when you start running into trouble, because that's when the balance really gets tilted out of place.
You're talking about the classic line that we tend to use in that conversation is generally prescription medication provides the Band-Aid.
Yes, it deals with symptoms.
It deals with the symptoms. It doesn't deal with the cause.
But a lot of people treat supplements the same way.
That's true.
So that's really interesting. So people can treat supplements the same way. I mean, supplements are a multi-billion-dollar industry in this country and around the world.
Yep.
More than the
statistically?
Spit that one out. Statistics tell us that over 50% of the population take supplements, whether their doctors know it or not. People are naturally drawn to them because of advertising or whatever, or seeing celebrities endorse things. So people naturally take supplements anyway. Do you want to know what the biggest selling supplement is in the world?
Well, I think
what do you reckon?
I think I know this. I think I do.
Yeah.
Is it vitamin D?
It is vitamin D.
Yes.
And the reason is because there's so much publicity about vitamin D. Now, vitamin D is a catalyst for so many actions in our body. So it's really, really important. Of course, getting out and getting some sunshine.
Well, yes, but this is why
it's a really good idea.
Go back a little bit into the history there, all the way back to World War I, World War II. So even during both World Wars, what the nurses did for patients during the day was actually take them out of the tents and lay them in the sun to get vitamin D, because vitamin D has been known as one of the biggest natural healers of disease since the dawn of time. And since the 1980s, we've been taught to slip, slop, slap and cover up.
That's right.
And really it's quite the opposite.
And whether the studies for the vitamin D deficiencies come out of the Middle East. Now, and that's because that population tends to cover themselves up, right, with burqas and hijab. So they're not absorbing vitamin D from the sun. So they're taking their studies from there. So vitamin D is so important for our immune health, in cancer therapy, for skin health, for healing, for transference of nutrients in our body that can be utilised for other things. So vitamin D is such an important underpinning nutrient. And even now I've heard that, doctors won't even test for vitamin D because they're saying it's not important. Yet vitamin D is the most, and obviously it is because, half the population is taking vitamin D when, luckily where we live though too, we are really fortunate. Yeah. We get a lot of sunshine here on the Gold Coast, so we get out in the sun. But for those populations and even down so far as Melbourne, I would recommend as a naturopath that if you are living in a place where there is a lot of darkness or you're not seeing a lot of sunlight or you're a shift worker, especially for a shift worker, you need to be supplementing with vitamin D. It is a really, really
And to all our UK listeners, that's even during your summer.
You too.
Yes, absolutely.
And the other statistic is, who is the biggest purchaser of vitamins and supplements?
I'm going to say women.
Yes.
Yes, am I correct?
Yes, an age bracket? What do you reckon?
I'm going to say over 40.
Right, so you're right in the middle. So it's 35 to 55.
There we go.
They're our biggest purchasers of natural supplements because they're the ones that are doing the research. They're the ones online going, and, they're usually the ones that take action about the health of their family, right?
Well, you have to think again, the last 10, 15 years, the shift in female health and wellness.
Yeah.
It was only about 15 years ago when the first activewear came out, and now it's actually classed as appropriate attire outside of the gym. So that is tied to taking supplements is tied to a whole big industry. It's not just about supplementation. It's about
holistic wellness.
The gym, it's exercise, it's everything.
Which is great. I mean, that's where we need to move. But, we've still got 60% of the population who are overweight or obese. So we still have a lot more work to do. So anyway, you have a few questions you're going to throw at me.
Yes. All right. So the biggest one that I see really on the internet, not our customers, but our customers, know that we're quite renowned for putting out quality supplements.
Yeah.
Small plug there.
Yeah.
But the question is, how do you know it is a quality supplement? How do you know that when you walk into a health food store and you're just bombarded with this shelf of all these different brands and there's, you've got Nature's Way, Nature's Own, you've got Fusion, and they've all got the same supplements. How do you know which is good and which is rubbish?
Yeah, well, it's a good question. And basically you don't unless you speak to someone who does.
Yeah. That's
basically the answer. So, there's a lot of brands in the supermarket where a lot of people do tend to buy it because it's on special, it's heavily discounted. The problem is with a lot of the supplements that are on the cheaper side of things, they are loaded with fillers and what we call excipients. So that basically fills the majority of the capsule or the tablet. And a lot of the times when they've done testing on these cheaper supplements, they found that they nowhere near contain the actual amount of ingredients that are on the label. So it is always best to go with somebody who understands supplements and there are some fabulous brands in this country. Like we have some beautiful brands of supplements available to us. But, you need to take what's specific for you because when you speak to a professional who understands, whether it's a nutritionist or a naturopath or someone who understands supplements, what you think you need and what you actually need might be two completely different things.
They're more often not that they are. Yes.
Because you might come in with a symptom, we'll go, well, hang on, what's causing that? And it's about peeling those, what we call in our industry is peeling the layers of the onion back until you actually get to the causative factor. And then the actual, real cause and the supplement that is required to fix that then has this beautiful domino effect on your health that will then fix things down the line. It just has a cascade effect on your health.
The best analogy for that, for anyone trying to figure that out, is whenever you have a pain in your body and whenever people think, there's a pain in my back, but actually that's not where the problem has come from.
Usually.
Yeah, it's usually come from somewhere completely different and this is the effect of, something that's happening over here.
Could be your neck, your leg.
But you're feeling it over here.
Absolutely.
And that's why a lot of people get in trouble when they self-diagnose because they go, this is where the pain is, so therefore this must be where the problem is. But unless you speak to somebody, a professional, that really knows, they can quite often tell you that's not the case.
You know what pain is? It's your body knocking. It's your body knocking from the inside and telling you, hey, something's wrong. The problem is most people will take things like Panadol or, those kind of medicated anti-inflammatories. And so it just dulls the pain. It doesn't stop your body from knocking. So your body's still knocking, but you're not hearing it.
Yes.
Isn't that an interesting way of looking at it?
Yes.
So pain, take note of pain in your body, and take appropriate supplements for that actually nurture and nourish your body's pathways that will help, relieve you of that pain, but also look at the causative factor, because if you're just dulling it down with medication, your body's still knocking.
Yes.
You're just not hearing it.
And look, it's not so much as, there is the old saying, you get what you pay for. If you're going into the supermarket and you're paying $5 for a bottle of supplements, don't expect them to have effect. Conversely, it doesn't mean you always have to go shoot for the most expensive brand either. That's not really what it's about. But don't expect to, take something that's going to fix an ailment or disease or anything going in your body if you've paid $5.99 for it.
And that's where people then also knock the industry. They'll take something cheap like that.
Yeah.
It didn't work. What a load of rubbish. They're all a waste of money. And that's actually not the case. It is a $1 billion industry for a reason, and it's because we are not, eating as well as we should. We're not getting the nutrients. We're not getting in the sun. We're not exercising. There's all these factors that come into play, and that's why supplements have such an important part to play in our health and giving our body the boost it needs in the times of need.
All right, next question.
That was a long one.
I was just thinking that.
Did I answer
it? Quickly. All right. Does age make a difference when taking supplements?
Yeah, it does. It absolutely makes a difference, because usually as we age, our metabolism has slowed down. Our digestion isn't as good as it used to be, so our absorption is going to be different. And also our requirements change as we age. So what we once needed when we were 20 maybe is not something that I need now in my 50s. I need things to help me move.
Collagen. now I do.
Well, that's exactly right. I need magnesium to keep moving. So it does play an important part.
All right, okay. How important is it to have a healthy digestive system?
Oh, so important. Gut health is everything. This is the centre of your universe for a reason. Everything radiates from our gut, and they're saying that up to 80% of our immune health comes from our digestion. So if you've got skin issues, if you've got inflammation issues, if you've got allergies, eczema, asthma, there are so many things that stem from our gut health. You need to look at your gut. So again, that's where people would reach for something to help with their symptoms.
Yes.
Whereas they actually need to go back and pinpoint where it's coming from. And if we could heal our gut, that would take care of so much. And you'll find, it has this wonderful domino effect.
Yep.
So if you've got multiple things going on in your body and you repair your gut health, you're going to find that, it's not just going to target one symptom. No. It's going to start healing all of them. So,
it was one of the side effects that we had, I should say side effects, I say it in a positive way, that a lot of the customers that take turmeric have, because that does help with the digestive system.
Yes.
It's antiviral, it's antibacterial, and it's anti-inflammatory in the stomach. And so a lot of people were taking turmeric for like IBS symptoms.
Yep, calms everything down.
Yeah, exactly. And what was happening was they were then emailing us in going, it's actually helped with, something else, or something in my shoulder, or my hearing, or my so these really random things.
And it's also a fibre.
Because they actually had settled the gut down, they'd healed the gut, had got it moving, pushing those toxins through the digestive tract. And gut health was a really really
because turmeric too has a lot of fibre in it.
Yes.
So and people don't realise that. So when you take turmeric in its whole food form, which is best as a powder or encapsulated, then you're going to get that beautiful elimination effect. And a lot of the time, it's people hanging on to old shit for way too long.
Yes, literally.
Literally. Too many shitty thoughts.
Okay, all right. So, this one's a little bit different for taking supplements. Mental health.
Yeah.
How do supplements affect mental health? I suppose in this part, is this really more related to like the placebo effect, or are we really talking about mental health? Can supplements really help with mental health?
Absolutely. Mental health usually, and not always, I think what people need to understand that there are certain nutrients that cross what we call the blood-brain barrier, and they're very specific. And a lot of them do come down to amino acids. So amino acids are present in the food that we eat, primarily proteins. A lot of people are missing out on good quality essential proteins. Again, it comes down to gut health because we've got that super highway between the gut and the brain, and they both, it goes both ways, but it goes more, there's more nerve messages being sent from the gut to the brain than there is the other way around. So it basically tells us that the gut is what's in control of our mental health. So there was a recent study that came out that I just read last week about children with ADD and ADHD and autism. And when they found that certain bacteria in their gut wasn't present as much as it was in someone who didn't have these issues. And when they started to balance the gut with probiotics and good bacteria and improve their microbiome, their mental health improved. Their mental health, their behaviour, and everything that flowed on from that. So, yes, mental health, massive correlation to your gut health. Amino acids, things like tryptophan are really important. They help to start balancing out that gut brain.
You wrote a book about this, didn't you? About like the how the gut really, like especially for children's health, like gut health and you know, how it affects the brain and how children behave, they act, you know, whether they're on the spectrum, not on the spectrum.
And how important it is for children. And it starts there. If only parents understood that, you know, that probably one of my biggest pet hates is seeing kids push around a stroller and drinking things like Gatorade. If they and it's like it's funny if it wasn't funny, but it's
I've seen
how
others
damaging.
Kids, you can, instead of like a packet of chips, which I reckon would be healthier, Nutrigrain.
Oh yeah,
as a snack, just handing out Nutrigrain.
It's just anyway. So your food obviously number one, but for mental health, fix your gut, get your gut, and go and see somebody who can help you with that. Don't just go and pick things off the shelf that you think because you've heard about them on social media. You've seen a celebrity spruik it, who's getting paid really well for it. Go and see somebody who understands what is happening.
I think the probiotic issue there is a classic where exactly what you're talking about. Oh, I need probiotics.
Yeah.
Well, do you know how many different strains of probiotics there are?
Yes.
There's and not only that, there's prebiotics. There's probiotics. There's multiple strains. So you can't really just like walk in and just say, you know, or just pick something off the shelf. You do need to.
They're very specific probiotics for, especially for mental health and behavioural things. And just for your gut health, make sure you're talking to someone and about how to take probiotics. A lot of people take them with food. So one of my biggest tips for taking probiotics is take it at night before you go to bed, somewhere between dinner and bedtime. Because while your body is doing its housework at night while you sleep, which is when your organs are doing all their repair work, that's when that probiotic is going to be able to utilise at its best, and that's when your body can repair its microbiome.
Well, that's actually a really good lead into was going to be one of my questions. But seeing as you've already brought it up, let's talk about how to take supplements.
Yes.
Like, you know, it's been so common, and, you know, it's only something that I've learned very recently. You know, normally if I'm taking supplements, I get up in the morning, I make a cup of coffee and I take them all out, and there could be 8 of them, and you just sit there and go 1, 2, 3. Or my partner, he can put 8 in his hand at once and literally swallow 8 capsules. I can't do that. But that's, we have learned, actually,
you're wasting money.
It's a waste of money.
Yeah, you're wasting money.
It's not how to test, so tell us.
So my rule of thumb for taking vitamins and minerals is you need vitamins to get you moving in the morning. So take vitamins in the morning. That's things like vitamin B. And they're usually recommended to take with food, okay, because they need to be absorbed through your digestive tract. Take them with food, you'll get the best out of them. Minerals, I tend to find you can take on an empty stomach any time of day.
That's mainly because minerals are liquid.
Yes. Or minerals are liquid or powder. They're more easily absorbed. They can be taken up, with water quite easily, and they're absorbed much, much better. So you'll get much better use out of them. Where vitamins you need to get moving to keep you through your day. Minerals can be replenished at night. So you can take minerals later in the day. Of course, things like herbs you need to be wary of. They are best absorbed with food. I would usually recommend that. And then, of course, you've got things like your magnesium minerals and things like that, where you can just take them at any time you need them with water throughout the day.
Well, it's like you said, like in the morning, you know, that's when you would take your energy, your energy supplements.
Things to keep you going during the day, you take in the morning. So if you look at your supplements, you go, oh, okay, I need vitamin B because I need energy. That's a morning one. If you need, say, turmeric, an anti-inflammatory or something because you've got achy joints when you wake up in the morning, take your turmeric. That can be taken either time of day. But those sort of things, if you need something to keep you moving and keep you going and give you energy, you take that in the morning. Anything else that is there to repair and nourish your body, like minerals, take later in the day or in the evening so they can do their magic overnight while you sleep.
And the other key point here is to remember, no matter how many supplements that you are taking, to always try and spread them out.
Yes, spread them out.
At least 2 hours before, because once again, you don't want to just put everything into your body. Your stomach, your stomach acids are just literally, it's like the old style washing machine, just going.
It's a whirlpool.
And it doesn't know where then to direct, or I think it takes it longer to direct where these minerals and vitamins need to go, because it's just one big swelling mess in there.
Well, yeah, I mean, and they all break down at different times too, because if you're taking powders, capsules, tablets, capsules, I like capsules because they are broken down quite quickly in the gut and absorbed really well through the mucous membranes. Tablets take a lot longer. There's a lot of compression that goes into making a tablet. So you can understand it needs that equal amount of energy to unbreak it before your body can use it. That's good for people who require, say, a longer digestive process, or, needs to take longer to absorb their tablets or their nutrients or what you need. So there is a purpose for, there's a reason why things are in their different form, and that is usually for uptake, for absorption, and for efficacy.
Okay, another question. Should I be worried if I start getting headaches, constipation, or diarrhea when taking supplements?
Yeah, absolutely you should. And you need to take note of any of those symptoms. Sometimes you don't know that you're going to have an adverse effect from a tablet until you take it. Obviously, diarrhea and gut health is a big indicator. Check whether you've taken it with food. Did I take it on an empty stomach? Have I taken it at the wrong time? Go back and speak to the person who sold it to you. It doesn't mean there's anything wrong with it. People straight away blame the supplement and go, it's rubbish or whatever.
I know.
And that's not the problem.
It's not, and I hear that sometimes, and it's kind of like, when you sort of lay it out, I like to use the peanut story. It's kind of like sometimes, you don't know you've got a peanut allergy until you have peanuts. We found that sometimes, I've been selling turmeric for over 10 years, and we have had maybe a very small handful of people during that time that have had an adverse reaction to turmeric. But guess what? They've never had it in their diet before.
Yeah, that's
they've
right.
never, they've never made a curry. Yeah. They've never had any need to take it. And all of a sudden they've taken the supplement and their body's just going, I don't like that.
So it can be that it's not absorbed well with food.
But lots of foods do, don't they? Lots of foods can give you
absolutely.
Give you a
food can, so can supplements. So just be aware of how you take them. Go speak to somebody. Don't necessarily blame the supplement. You just might need to start on a very small dose for your body to adjust to it and go from there.
Okay.
All right. Is there any more?
All right. The other key question: how long should it take for a supplement to work? How long does it take for it fixes everything?
The magic pill. Is that the one you're asking about?
Exactly. Yeah.
The magic pill. Look, again, that is going to be as individual as the person who's taking it. Normally for, supplements to really shine, you want to take them for at least, 2 to 3 months. It takes that long even for your liver cells to turn over. It takes that long for your cellular memory to change. So you need to take something really consistently for a period of time for your body to really show its true effect. So, you can't take something for a week and go, that didn't work.
You'd be surprised, though, how many people do. Yeah. I am absolutely gobsmacked at the amount of people that I've been taking it for a week. When will I see results?
Yes.
Like you've literally just started taking it.
Have some patience. And then with the naturopathic, analogy we use, that it's a month for every year that you've been dealing with the symptoms. So for women or something that have had, menopause symptoms for years are expecting, something to fix them in a couple of weeks, where if you've had it for 3 or 4 years, expect 3 or 4 months for that healing to begin. And you've got to take it consistently. So don't blame the supplement. Don't think that there's something wrong with it. But you are individual. You've got, lots of different issues from the person next to you. It doesn't mean you're going to respond the same way. It just may take a little bit longer. So be patient.
All right. One final question from me.
Yep.
What age can you start taking supplements?
Yeah. Well, normally, unless you are diagnosed with anything as a child, like it's normally recommended from 12 years and up.
Okay.
So, unless you have a specific deficiency that you have been diagnosed with by a GP or someone professional, then I wouldn't be giving supplements to kids. First line of defence for kids is always food. Feed them good food, set them up for a healthy future. Yeah. So they won't need to rely on these things as they get older. But, rule of thumb is from 12 years and up, kids are normally sort of an adult-sized body. And if they need something, please consult with someone before you actually start just picking supplements off a shelf for a kid. Okay?
Okay.
So
All right.
eat well, stay hydrated, move your body. You need a supplement. Talk to someone who knows what they're, an understanding of it, so they know exactly what you need. You're not wasting your money, and you're not, then blaming the supplements because they're not working, because supplements are fantastic. I love them, recommend them. People function better with them.
And remember, and pay more attention to your gut health.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Fix your gut. Your gut's the centre of your universe. Does everything for you. All right.
All right.
Thanks, everyone.
I learned something today.
Yeah.
Yes.
I hope everyone else did too. I hope there was something out there that, not everybody knew, and now you know that.
Now you do. All right. Till next time.
Cheers.